Please stand clear of the doors. Por favor, manténganse alejado de las puertas. Please stand clear of the doors. Por favor, manténganse alejados.
Because this here's the wildest ride in the wilderness.
Hello, everyone. I'm Alicia.
I'm Nathan.
And I'm David.
Welcome to episode 241 of Adventures and Mousecapades.
This week's guest has quite the resume. He's a composer, lyricist, playwright, orchestrator, and actor. He's been on Broadway and toured with shows both here in the U.S. and internationally. And his songs have been performed and recorded by Tony winners, Emmy winners, and even Saturday Night Live cast members.
He's contributed to the book, music, and lyrics to 26 original musicals, including writing Arthur Danby, The Innocents, Mr. Scrooge's Christmas Carol, and was involved in the original development of this last season's Beaches the Musical. He's even been awarded the Stephen Sondheim Artist Citation by the legend himself.
He's an incredible self-taught pianist and an insanely talented vocalist, and seems to know and have hung out with nearly every major Broadway performer we can think of. Our guest even suffers through listening to us try to sing during our vocal lessons.
But more important than any of that, this week's guest is one of the warmest, caring, and most supportive people that we have the great pleasure to know. And with all of that, we can't wait for you to get to know him a little bit, so welcome, David.
You guys, come on. I'm literally sitting here blushing and like crying already, and I haven't even related a story yet. What happened?
Thank God this isn't on video.
Exactly, right? I didn't do my makeup today. What?
So, okay, we're here to chat about your recent trip to Hong Kong Disneyland.
Yes.
But before we even get to all that, how would you describe your relationship to Disney and Disney parks?
Wow. Dodgy and multi-layered. I'm a convert. I love it. I'll start from when I was a little kid. My grandma lived very near Anaheim, and we lived in Oregon. And so she would bring us down every summer, and she would pay for everything. And so I'd show up at grandma's house, and we didn't have a lot of money. And so I would show up at grandma's house, and she would have all this stationery with my name on it, had written on it. And I just felt so fancy when I went to her house. And then at the end of the day, I knew the piece de resistance that we're going to end up at Disneyland.
Right.
And so the first time we went, it did not go to plan. There were some instances that I won't go into here that were just a little traumatic and required years of therapy to get over. So let's just leave that aside.
Yes.
But the day ended with my grandmother having a stroke in Fantasyland. And so I remember very viscerally watching her fall and like everybody freaking out. And then they took us into the infirmary. And then I remember my mom had to sign all these forms and everything. And she was just so upset. And so like after that, we never went back. So that was like my last memory of Disney. And I think it was 5 birthdays ago. Would be my second birthday with my partner, Nick. And he had some really strange childhood memories of Disneyland going with his family where it just wasn't as joyful or as joyous as he wanted. And he felt like that he and his 2 brothers were very limited in the things that his parents would allow them to do. And so he never really got what the hype was. And so almost as a joke, he was like, why don't we go to Disneyland? I'm like, yeah, let's go. And let's be really unhappy when we get there, just like almost on purpose. Yeah. I did not say that, but I was expecting to not like it.
Right.
And we got there and we walked in, and in about an hour, we both started noting how inviting it was. And then how it wasn't just inviting, it just wrapped itself around you. And it was everywhere you looked, every detail was curated and beautiful, and people were stopping us. And I had a birthday tag on, and we were being stopped by everybody. And it felt so foreign. And by the end of the first day, we were just holding each other's hands and crying in the middle of Disneyland because it just freed us all of a sudden to be the kids that we never got to be. And we had the best 4 days, and we just kept going back, and we would ride the rides over and over again. The Peter Pan ride, like who would have known this? Like it's sort of old school. Like there's no like bells and whistles to it, but like you feel like you're flying. And it was mind blowing. And we went back again, like 5 months later.
Yeah.
Way too soon. Way too expensive to do 5 months later. And then we went to Florida because I think there's only one thing that could get me to step into the state of Florida with my boyfriend, and that's Disneyland. And it was incredible there too. And it's obviously so much bigger, and there's so much more to do.
Yeah.
We had an amazing time there, and then Nick, who is Chinese, his family is from Hong Kong, was over there, and he was like, why don't you come over? And I was like, can we go to Disneyland? He was like, yeah, why do you think I'm inviting you? Come on. So I flew to Hong Kong, and we went to Disneyland. I met his family, and then we went to Tokyo next, like a year later.
Yeah.
And I was like, what has happened to my life? I know what's happened to all my money, but what has happened to my life? The merch has been purchased. The food has been purchased. I have a Peter Pan popcorn holder thing that like lights up and Tinkerbell's on the top, and like it's incredible. And then I went back to Hong Kong again just to go to Disneyland.
Yeah.
I have never felt like I got to be a kid until now. I'm middle-aged.
Yeah.
And it was because of that.
That's amazing.
It is. It is.
Yeah. It's been
What made Hong Kong Disneyland the park that you decided to visit this most recent time?
That's a good question. I think so what I now know is that it's the smallest park. And I was prepping for this, and I was like, I'm going to go in there with all these factoids. And I was like, nothing I have to say is any surprise to anybody listening to this. Y'all know way more than I do. However, if you didn't know, Hong Kong Disney is built on a man-made island. And I was very proud of myself for knowing that.
Congratulations. Gold star.
Exactly. Thank you very much. A+. So I went, the first time we went, I'm going to say like 40% of it was closed down because they were doing construction on Frozen Land. It wasn't done yet. So like the island, which it's not Robinson Crusoe. It's not.
Tom Sawyer?
Is it Tom Sawyer?
In Hong
Fan?
Kong?
Oh, in Hong Kong?
Or is it Pirates? I can't, oh my gosh. See, it was closed down again, which is why I don't know. It's the one place that was closed down when we went back.
Okay.
But they basically had cordoned off anything that was high enough that you could see over the fencing into the Frozen Land.
Right.
So Nick had been there, and I was honestly going to see his family and everything and just see him.
Sure.
But we went on our very last day, and everything was open again. So we got to go in Frozen Land, and I ate the little Olaf ice cream, and it was so good. Like it didn't deserve to be that good, but I had another one. And what else? The Haunted Mansion was so cool.
Yeah.
When we got there, we went to the Lion King land.
Yeah.
And Nick was like, oh, there's a show coming up at noon or something. And I was like, I'm not sure. I want to see a show, because like I do theater for a living. And so like going to Disneyland, like I want to do stuff that I don't do.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like I want to get on fast moving things that I don't know how they work and have other people be in charge of that. So typically when I go see shows, it's all technical to me in a beautiful way. I still love it, and I still believe in it.
You love the art, but it's hard to see. Like your brain sees everything behind the art of the technical. How do you put this on, and the lighting, and
yeah. And not even from a critical point, but it's just like it's still magic to me. But Disneyland is still magical to me because I don't know what happens behind the scenes. Sure. And so I was like, do I want to go see The Lion King? Like, no, I've seen The Lion King, so this is going to feel like a distillation of it.
Right.
Well, we went. Literally sobbing at the end of it. The sound quality, apparently they had just done something to the theater and like enhanced the orchestration and just the surround sound. And you're in this big round, rotunda thing. And I was over the moon, like people falling out of the ceiling and flying around on cables. And it was just perfect storytelling.
Yeah.
It did not feel like a distillation of this glorious big giant story. It felt like a new adaptation that was told from a storytelling standpoint of a bunch of people getting together and just telling a very simple story. It was so beautiful. I loved it.
That
was my favorite thing.
That's
Singing
awesome.
musical. Yeah.
So we haven't been to Hong Kong. Getting to Hong Kong Disneyland, like first impressions, like what's it like what?
Yeah, it's cool because they have their own train.
Okay.
I just have to say, if you've never been to Hong Kong, it's an unbelievably fabulous city. It's like New York and London got squished together and moved east.
Oh, wow.
And it's odd because thanks to colonialism, everybody speaks English, like
Yeah.
perfect English. So it's like no trouble talking to anybody. You can just get around. And it's just really sort of cosmopolitan. But then at night, the lights are, it's like Hong Kong has colors that we don't have. I don't even know if that's possible, but they have invented colors. And there are these boats, these giant boats on the water that look like they came from 200 years ago. It's unbelievable. So I love Hong Kong. But the train that takes you to Disneyland, you basically pull up to the gate and then you walk in and that's it, this island that you're on.
Yeah.
And so, of course, it's hot and it's humid. Oh, it's muggy. And it's like you need a shower every 3 minutes.
Right.
It's really that bad. However, it was a super clear day and we went on like a Tuesday. There was basically nobody there. Like,
wow.
it was crazy how few people were there. Yeah. Like no wait time, 2 minutes to get into almost every single ride.
We've heard that about Hong Kong. I mean, it has its busy periods, but
Yeah. And there's always certain rides that are going to be more busy than others
Sure.
too. Yeah.
but overall, like you don't need a fast pass or a lightning lane or a whatever for Hong Kong Disneyland because that's pretty magical.
The fireworks show at the end of the night too it was so beautiful. And again, I was crying again because they hit all those emotional
They know,
points.
they know how to do
They
it.
know what they're doing. And somehow it doesn't feel manipulative. It just doesn't. You know what I mean? They're tagging all of these brilliant moments from your childhood that you remember, and if you're lucky, carry into your adulthood and can still regain that feeling of watching those beautiful movies and the incredible work that they do to make sure that they're supplanted in like a real genuine connectivity between human beings. And they somehow they nail it every single time. Like there was this little kid on his dad's shoulders right in front of us and we were just done. He's just standing in awe of it, and you get to remember what it's like to be in awe of things again. It's unbelievable. So I'm a sap.
So does like culturally, like we've seen some stuff about Disney, like in Shanghai, and where they had to not tweak, but like do more education about like culturally what Disney is and who some of the characters are because they don't have that history.
Yeah.
Was there some of that going on in Hong Kong, or because it's such a Western culture in the East, they didn't have to do that?
They didn't have to do that as much. I appreciated the fact that some of the rides were in Mandarin or in Cantonese. And in fact, they had 3 separate rides, or 3 separate boats for the Jungle Cruise.
Yeah.
They had the one in English, the one in Cantonese, and the one in Mandarin, which was great. Nice. And so Nick, who speaks both, he was like, well, we'll go on the English one for you, white boy. And so we did, which was very helpful. And it was funny. But I don't feel like they had to explain quite as much. There is a ride there that I did not have any cultural context for, which was this archaeological, like this kind of old doddering guy and a monkey who goes kind of
That was
crazy.
Mystic Manor. That was their that was their haunted mansion because they don't do haunted mansion in that culture because of ghosts.
Yeah.
So they do Mystic Manor, and that was their answer to that for that.
And is there did they take the characters from anything or they just invented them?
They just invented it. They made a story for it. Yeah.
Okay.
That's the one where Joe Rohde is the model, I think, for.
I know Joe's the model for one of the Tower of Terrors.
No, I think it's
on that one too.
I think he's that tall.
Mystic Manor.
Sorry.
No. So Joe Rohde is a Disney Imagineer who designed like Aulani. He ran
Animal Kingdom.
A whole
bunch of stuff.
Not ran Animal Kingdom, but did the design work behind Animal Kingdom. Like just amazing guy. And I'm almost positive it is Mystic Manor where the old white guy character.
Yeah.
Like if you saw a picture of Joe Rohde and then saw like that character like in the paintings and stuff like that on the wall, it's Joe Rohde.
So is he the guy that is Animal Kingdom Avatar?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
The whole setup and the tree, when you look at that tree, you could stand and look at that thing for hours and still see something different. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Love that.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No.
Tangent.
Yeah. Like we do tangents.
Yes, we do.
Early and often around here. Early and often. Hi, it's me, Future Nathan here. I was wrong, but wanted to keep this section in because Joe Rohde is absolutely a cool guy and Disney icon. Joe Rohde was the model used for Harrison Hightower III, who is indeed the main story character for Tokyo Disneyland's Tower of Terror. Alicia was correct.
I'm not surprised.
Quiet, you. He is in Mystic Manor, however, in Hong Kong, in the group portrait of the Society of Explorers and Adventurers, or SEA, which is referenced across many Disney parks, rides, resorts, and even the cruise ships. And now you know.
You had mentioned before that you got an accessibility pass.
Oh, yeah.
For, did you do it for the entire time that you were there, or was it just for a certain day?
We didn't end up doing it for this trip to Hong Kong because my thing is I have a seizure disorder, and especially when it's hot, if my heart rate goes up and then comes back down, sometimes my brain doesn't have an off switch, and so the reason the seizures happen is because my heart rate goes up and my body still thinks, or my brain still thinks that the body's going, and it's really not. So it still sends out the electrical impulses. So it's best for me if I'm going to be walking to a place to not like stop for too long to let the heart rate come down. So staying active, especially when it's hot. So, but we didn't feel like we needed to do that because we could set our own pace and you didn't have to like walk with the crowds because there were no crowds.
Yeah.
The first time we went, Hong Kong was super, super easy. You just walked in off of Main Street to the left and you walk in and you talk to them. I think they did ask to see a note from my neurologist, which I showed them the first time. And then they handed me one and we kept it because it's, they have my name written in Chinese, which is, you don't see that every day. It's kind of cool. I had no idea it was my name, and Nick told me. So, but then, I found the 2 U.S. parks were a little bit more challenging because I know that there's been some trouble, inconsistent history with being able to actually get one for a kid who is clearly going to need one.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Because if you say the wrong thing, then they discount you, which is not my favorite thing.
We've talked about this with some folks who have some insider knowledge of how all this stuff works, and it really came down to, unfortunately, too many people were abusing the system and were sucking up a lot of capacity on rides, and like at a way in proportionate level. And so they had to get more strict on like actually doing some better validation and all the rest of that stuff. It's unfortunate. For the people who need it, you need it. And these absolutely are situations where you should have it. And I hate that people abused it to the point where that becomes an issue for people who actually need it.
The people who messed it up were the ones that actually didn't need it.
We talked a little bit also about the culture and how Disney had to adjust, or not necessarily, as at least as much in Hong Kong, to the local culture. From your perspective, though, like when we're at the Disney parks, and you've been to Hong Kong multiple times, you've been to Tokyo as well. Like, what is it like as a guest, as an American, going into Hong Kong Disneyland? Like, is the vibe the same? Like, how are the other people and things like that?
So I think Hong Kong felt the most like the US. Tokyo felt completely different. Like we had no idea what to expect. If it's okay, I can talk about Tokyo.
Absolutely.
Tokyo was a completely different experience because I actually feel a little bit... I don't think I should admit this publicly, but I literally flew to Tokyo just to go to Disneyland. I had never been to Japan before. I saw maybe 1 inch of Tokyo, and I saw every inch of every part of Disney.
That sounds like something we do.
Yes, honestly,
I mean, and then I left, and I was like, God, I'm so white. Like, what the hell was I thinking? And no judgment from Nick. He was like, no, I get it. Let's roll. But what was cool about that is that we've only stayed on property essentially 1.5 times. That 1.5 is once in California, we stayed on property, which was great, and I loved every minute of it. But then this time, what's cool about it is that they have around DisneySea and the other park, they have all the Disney hotels, but then there's like a couple hotels that are literally in between them. And so near the Toy Story Hotel was I have a credit card for it, which is why I went there, because I was like, points. And I got us this room having no idea what I paid for, but everything was sort of cheaper.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Which is weird. The flights, everything was cheaper. And we were there for, I think, 5 or 6 days. Yes, a whole week. And the room that we got, massive, huge picture of Tokyo Bay. Like, you open the curtains, it was an entire wall.
Nice.
The most beautiful hotel room. And Nick, I was talking to Nick. I was like, I'm going to Alicia and Nathan's. What memories do you have? He's like, the hotel room. Talk about the hotel room. It was so glorious. And just every part, I felt like we were on property, even though we weren't.
Yeah.
And it was not as expensive.
Yeah.
And then you just got on a train, and it takes you right there. It's a monorail. The monorail was so clean and so beautiful and like perfectly maintained. And one of the best parts was we were there end of November into early December, and our final night there, we had gotten on the train, we got off at the hotel. When we got back on the next morning, the entire thing had been decked out with Christmas.
Oh, wow.
And like there were Mickey hats hanging over all the handles, and stickers on the entire outside of the train. It was just just magical. I got to think of a better word.
Yeah.
It was total transformation.
Yeah.
Overnight.
Yep.
It was insane. The one thing about Tokyo is that there's a bunch of stuff that you don't expect. Like the first thing, you pay for the monorail every time. So you have to clock in, which is not a big deal. It's what it is.
Yeah.
But with as advanced as we know Tokyo is, it's very hard to get internet there. So inside the park, they don't have it. So if you're a tourist and you take your phone, you got to get a local card because you will not have internet.
Okay.
And with Fantasy Springs, we were there pretty much right around when it opened, I think.
Yeah.
Do we know when it opened?
I don't remember off the top of my head.
So
Sometime within the
that
last
long.
couple years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your fact checker can check.
Yeah, exactly.
Fantasy Springs opened June 6th, 2024.
We were there two Christmases ago. Anyway,
Yeah.
I was super excited about going to that, but they were very stringent on how you get in.
Yeah.
And so we had gone the first 3 days, and then our final day, we were like, you have to be there at a certain time because you basically have to rush into the park and go online and clock in. And so there was a pocket of internet that was close enough to the gate because we were too cheap, I guess, to buy cards. I shouldn't be admitting to this. Good God. I'm such a cliche. Like, I'm Jewish, Nick is Chinese. Both cheap. It's terrible. You can cut that out. So we get, so the final day I was like, we have to go to Fantasy Springs.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mainly because Nathan and Alicia will kill us if we don't, because I have to report back. And so I got there at 5 a.m. And by the time I got there, there was already a line. Not a line, like 27 lines.
I've
Oh my
heard when it
gosh.
first opened up. Actually, it's probably still pretty bad now.
Yeah.
It was like just ridiculous how long the lines are.
Yeah.
Like it goes fast, but everybody will line up like hours ahead of time. Yeah.
Yep. And Nick was like, I'm not going at 5. I was like, well, see, he shows up at 8. And I was sitting on the ground. And it ended up being one of those cool experiences where everybody's talking anyway. So,
Sure.
So we were so ready because if we had missed that, it was our literal final day.
Yeah.
So we both running with our phones. We're like, grrr, and we got our tickets, and it was for like 1 o'clock or something like that. So that was the first thing to know, is that the internet doesn't work. And then the other thing, which I love this part, because as an American, I always feel like such an American going places, and like I do not expect anybody to speak our language.
Yeah.
Now, I can't learn Japanese that quickly because we only had a couple months, and it's
Yeah.
very challenging. However, what I love there is that they just don't speak English to you. They just don't. So you got to figure some stuff out.
Yeah.
Which is great. And when you don't have an internet, good luck. And Nick did not know any Japanese, so we were a little bit lost at times, which was great. But I'm trying to remember DisneySea exactly because it's very big.
Yeah.
It's big, and what didn't feel the same is that the streets and the passageways are so much bigger, so much more expansive. So you don't feel like you're being guided through
Okay.
as much,
Right.
Yeah.
You know, because they have the whole pattern.
Sure.
I don't know. Yeah.
It's more open world.
Yeah, exactly. And then I found out that, I don't know, another factoid for you, which I'm sure everybody already knows, is that it's privately owned. And so
Yeah.
they license the characters. And so
Yeah.
I was like, I'm fascinated to know, like, did the designers have carte blanche with how it's designed, or did they have to stick to the, some semblance of the rules?
No, like Disney acted as and Imagineering acted as consultants. And kind of what they did was they'd say, hey, we want this ride, but can we kind of merge it a little bit with this other ride? And so I was just listening to Disney Dish the other day, and or it wasn't Disney Dish. It was one of the ones that Len Testa and Jim Scholl were on.
The podcast is called Disney Unpacked with Jim Hill, Jim Scholl, and Len Testa.
And Jim Scholl, former Imagineering,
Imagineering,
led Imagineering, was talking about, because he was involved in building Disneyland, Tokyo Disneyland, and all the rest of that stuff. And he was saying, a little bit of this and a little bit of this, and plug it all together. So there was very heavy Imagineering, Disney event Imagineering involvement to ensure that it was authentic, that it was done the right way, and that the storytelling was there. But OLC is the Oriental Land Company, is the local entity there.
They pay for it.
They pay for it, and they had like, nope, this is what we want. It was like kind of ordering from the international menu across all the parks of what they wanted to do, and that was in 1982 was Tokyo opened.
Really?
You were close. It was April 15th, 1983.
And then DisneySea came later?
Yes.
DisneySea was later.
Okay, gotcha.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow.
And then they're also getting a cruise ship. OLC's also ordered a cruise line ship.
Yeah.
So
they're
sailing out of Tokyo?
Yeah. They haven't announced exactly where and what the itineraries are yet, but they have announced that there's a ship. It's going to come out and start sailing in 2029.
Yeah.
And it is the Disney Wish class design.
Okay.
But we don't know what they're doing with it.
Yeah,
so
because they get to figure it out. They get to work with Imagineering and pay whatever they want to pay for it, do their own thing.
Right. So I'm kind of imagining that will be the absolute pinnacle of the Wish class.
Probably.
Because OLC will go like, yeah, that works, and that doesn't, and we're fixing it. I'm like, yes, please fix it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm actually excited. We're tentatively planning to go to Tokyo in 2030.
Wow. I'm coming.
Okay.
Sounds great.
Sterling's graduation.
Yeah, it'll be Sterling's graduation. And
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
yeah.
yeah.
That's what's happening with the Abu Dhabi park as well.
Oh, wow.
It's another entity is paying for it and is going to be working with Imagineering and Disney for all the building of it. Yeah.
We'll see how that goes.
Wow.
Yeah. That's one.
I wouldn't want to be in those meetings.
No.
Oh, one thing about like the Tokyo Castle.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. The mosaics. I have thousands of pictures of the intricacies of the mosaics.
Wow.
They were absolutely stunning. 'Cause I think it was Cinderella. I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Is it always Cinderella? It's not.
No.
It's not always.
There's Sleeping Beauty is the one in Paris is Sleeping Beauty, and the one in oh my gosh, which one is it? Florida or California? That's Sleeping Beauty. I'm sorry, guys. I should know this, and my brain just said nope. You don't know it right now.
I think it's Florida because Cinderella's L.A. I may be backwards. I don't remember.
I can't remember either.
See, this is the thing. Like, you're like, oh, everybody knows all that stuff. Like, yes, I'm sure people do have encyclopedia knowledge of like all these things. It's not us. We go and our brain just goes like, this is cool.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it's fine.
Don't worry, fam. I got this. Sleeping Beauty Castle is Princess Aurora's home in Anaheim, California, and she also has a summer castle in Disneyland Paris. Cinderella has castles in Florida and Tokyo. All of the Disney princesses are honored at the Castle of Magical Dreams in Hong Kong and Enchanted Storybook Castle in Shanghai.
This is what I actually love about the Disney community. There are people who can like deeply nerd out about that stuff, and we can shade in that direction. Right. And then there's also like those same very nerdy people are predominantly super welcoming of the people who just come in and have their minds blown and just kind of start drooling in their like loving every single thing that's coming into their brain. And
Yep.
It's something for everybody.
I kind of love that we didn't, at any point, have we ever gone online and tried to plan stuff in advance, because I think we just learned right away that it's going to take you where it wants to take you.
Got it.
And so like when we've been back to California, I think at this point, like 5 or 6 times.
Yeah.
Like the last time we did it, Nick and I went to the Star Wars, because he's very big Star Wars fan.
Yeah.
We bought the watches. And so we did the whole hunting of
the bounty hunting thing. I love it. It's
bounty
honestly so much fun.
It was so much fun. And like, and we did the light lightsaber. I paid for the big one.
Oh my
folks.
gosh, that's such an amazing experience.
It
though.
is
It
so
really
incredible.
immerses you in it. And yeah, I got chills. I may have gotten a little teary eyed during it.
100%. I
Right?
did.
Yeah.
And we went to the private, the bar beforehand, not to get
Oga's
to get
Cantina.
loaded,
Yeah,
but like
yeah,
to have
yeah.
dinner and everything.
Yeah.
Right.
What's it called?
Oga's.
Thank
Cantina.
you.
Yeah.
It was so we made it. It was so immersive, and we still have the lightsaber, and we're going to get a whole stand for it. But yeah, I love that part. But
Yeah.
with Tokyo, like we went to Beauty and the Beast Land. Another, it felt like everything had sort of been like just amped up, like 20%.
Yeah.
Because like just being in the middle of that French village
Mm-hmm.
and the ride, like
I heard that
you
ride is
start walking
amazing.
through,
Yeah.
and there's the projections, and there's the animatronics, and the music, and then they have multiple waiting lines, so they do that thing where you feel like you're already on the ride before you're on the ride,
Yeah.
which is so
Yes.
smart.
Yeah.
That one did it better than almost anything, and I have video of all of this, and I sort of want to post it online, but also just want people to go and experience it because it's
Yeah.
not the same thing.
Well, that's actually the question I want to ask you. Like, thinking about, we started talking about Hong Kong, and the answer can be from Hong Kong, but it can also be from Tokyo. You haven't been to Paris, right?
No.
Okay. So, like, thinking of those two Asian parks that you've been to, like, what attraction or attractions do you think U.S. park fans are seriously missing out on?
The new Fantasy Springs Peter Pan.
Okay.
And I know I already talked about Peter Pan a little bit, so maybe I have a Peter Pan complex. I do. Middle-aged man who behaves like a child. We only were able to get on 2 of the 3 rides, and I don't know if that's still the case there, but we got on the Peter Pan ride, and then what are the other 2? Frozen is one, and then
Rapunzel.
Thank
Tangled.
you, Rapunzel. We got on the Tangled ride,
Okay.
which was beautiful to look at, and they do the whole lantern thing and everything. But it was that one wasn't my favorite.
Yeah.
However, sorry, tangent. Their Splash Mountain is
Yeah.
so cool.
Yeah.
It's so cool. Characters I don't recognize, but like multiple drops.
Yeah.
Like it felt like it was 6 different events.
Oh, wow.
And Nick and I freaking love that. Like wanted to go back again. But the Peter Pan ride, I don't want to ruin it for anybody, but it was a mix of everything.
Yeah.
And if you think that the one in California makes you feel like you're flying, this literally takes you into every flying dream you've ever had.
that's awesome.
And we were, I didn't know how Nick was responding to it until I looked over, and we were like, booger crying. That's where we were.
Yeah.
And it was so profound.
Yeah.
Then one of my favorite things that happened there, we went into a cafe, and we were like not bemoaning the fact, but so okay, bemoaning. My people know how to do that. We're standing there and talking about the fact that we weren't going to be able to go on the Frozen ride.
Yeah.
And this woman sitting next to it, like sitting over here, was clearly listening to every word we were saying, and she was like, "Those bastards." And I went, "What?" She goes, that's how they get you. Every time you come into this park, you pay $1 million, you save up all your money, and then they don't let you on a ride. And I was like, what is happening? I'm scared
Wow.
of this woman.
like-
And she was like, well, it just might be your lucky day because these bastards aren't going to get you today. And she hands Nick a ticket to the Frozen ride. She goes, there's only one of me because frankly, none of my family can afford to come here. It's too expensive. We're going bankrupt. Those bastards. And people are literally looking at us. So over the next 4 days, we spend every waking minute with this human being. Clearly, her name is Jen. She's from San Francisco. She's going to grad school. She is the funniest, most angry Disney fanatic you've ever met in your entire life. She has literally gone bankrupt for this company and is thrilled and angry about it at the same time. She has pre-purchased entry tickets for like 2 and 3 years out. And she purchases them because she doesn't know if she's actually going to have any money then. So she has to front load it to make sure that she's safe. She complains about everything when she's there, and yet every piece of merch that you could possibly fathom carrying is dripping off of her body when she walks out. And she is so joyful and so angry. I'm so in love with this woman, I could die. Like, we rode the bus through Tokyo with her. She's amazing. and she's a character.
That is the first person, the first time I've heard a Disney adult described perfectly.
Yes.
Like that is Jen. Like it's magical, it's amazing, it's hell.
It is.
Yeah, that's how it is.
God. Oh, and the Main Street. And they had done the thing that they did with the train to Main Street. So you walk in and Christmas exploded.
Yes.
And it's just these giant trees. But the cool thing is it feels like it almost feels like a train station, like a Harry Potter train station. Because it's sort of like, it doesn't feel like a normal Main Street because it's not open air.
It's like got the greenhouse type thing
Exactly.
over it.
Yes,
I forget what that's called. Like the
Pergola?
pergola. Thank you.
Yeah.
I was thinking copula, but I was like, no, that's somebody. No, that's not it. Pergola. Yes.
Yeah.
Like a pergola.
And then this is my aged memory. It's a land ? To the left as you walk in, and it's like, is it San Francisco? What am I thinking of?
San Francisco?
No. So there's, now I know that's not what's in Tokyo, but it's some American thing, and there's a train that goes through there, and the only reason I'm having trouble remembering it is because we went there last minute at the end of it. But just the design of Tokyo, you have to go. Like if you're going to choose one out of the two that I've been to that are in Asia proper, go to Tokyo.
Yeah.
Because it does not feel anything basically like the other parts. You still feel the same feeling.
Yeah.
It's still immaculate.
Yeah.
DisneySea, I think, was maybe a little bit oversold to me because everyone was like, oh my God, your mind is going to melt out of your ears.
Okay.
So I was ready for that. And so I'm not going to do that. So when you, dear listeners, go to see it, you'll be amazed because David said it was terrible. That's not what I'm saying. It's magical. But they have the 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea.
Yes.
That's a thing. And then there's another ride adjacent to that, which was no memory. No clue.
Sweet.
Yeah.
It was a great one.
It was great. That was the best ride, actually. The one that I can't remember. Yes.
Perfect.
Yep. I do have to take a lot of Dramamine with me, though, because Mama cannot handle twists. Mama gets real sick on those rides.
I'm getting there.
Yeah. Oh, boy.
No roller
I'm getting there.
coasters, huh?
Yep.
Well, on the flip side, did anything not quite hit for you?
I'm hard pressed.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the line. That's like 7 o'clock. That's outside.
Yep.
So David showing us a video on his phone of a very long line to get into.
Everybody just sitting down on the ground waiting for the park to open.
Hey, but the ground is very clean.
It is so
very
clean.
clean.
It really is. What? I mean, no.
Yeah.
The fly-in, maybe their version of fly-in was not
Soarin'.
Thank you. Terrible. Please edit that out. Don't let me sound like an idiot.
No,
it's like
that's staying.
fly-in. What the hell is he talking about? Maybe that one wasn't as good. I don't know. I loved it.
Yeah.
You know, what am I thinking of in Florida? Their version of the old timey mountain ride, the
Big Thunder Mountain.
Big Thunder Mountain. Thank you. Is that the one? Because Nick and I have been arguing as to which one goes up, and then you think that you're going to go up, and then an explosion happens, and they end up taking you backward. Is that Florida?
No, that doesn't happen
That
anywhere.
is in one of the Asia parks.
Yeah.
I don't remember
He
which
was
one.
right.
Yeah.
Damn it. I'm not letting him listen to this because I will
fair enough.
never. Yes, I was like, no, it was in Florida. I'm certain of it.
Nope, that's not
then
Florida.
It was in Hong Kong, and it was Big Thunder Mountain, and it definitely makes you go up, and then they have an explosion, and you fall backward, and
that's
it's
fun.
really cool.
That's
it's
awesome.
Really cool. I do have not one about the Asian parks, but maybe I'm going to be sued for this. But the Tron ride, too short.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
No,
I'm
100%.
still angry about that.
It is very, very short.
I mean,
And that's
if
in
you-
Shanghai, right? Is it in Shanghai?
Yes,
it was first there.
It's in Shanghai first, and then it was a
then
literal
Florida.
copy and paste
Yep.
into Disney World, into Magic Kingdom
Yeah.
in Florida.
Yeah.
And it is agreed. It is way too short.
Under 1 minute.
Yeah. I was ready. Like, if you're going to make my butthole pucker that much by putting me on a motorcycle with nothing around my body, at least torture me for 60 seconds. That was only 30 seconds of torture, and it was not enough. Because the buildup was actually worse than the ride.
Oh, yeah.
Because you're watching those people flying upside down as you're waiting, and you're like, I'm literally going to die. My luck is actually so bad that I would be the guy who would be on the one that falls. You know what I mean? Like, sorry.
That's Alicia's brain, too. So.
Yep. Oh,
Yeah.
Yep.
If you do get a chance to do that again, because I 100% agree with you. Yeah. And Caitlin and I, when we were there a month or so ago, a couple months ago at this point, we waited a couple extra trains and did the very first row.
Front. Yep.
So there's nobody in front of you.
Oh, on the Tron ride.
Yeah. And it's
that.
Yeah.
You did.
Like, that was like, this is way too short, but that was freaking cool.
It was. Yeah. I love that. We always ask to go in the front because actually, I have another complaint. Are you ready? But it's all American parks. So like, is this David having a problem with America? I don't know. Maybe edit that out. It's the Incredicoaster.
Yes.
Used to have 2 flippy hoos, right?
No.
It never had 2 flippy hoos?
No. Is Nick right again?
It used to be faster. It did. And then a guy got whiplash and they slowed it down.
Oh, maybe.
And at least when we went on it again, there was no music.
No, that's just broken.
That's just broken.
That was just broken.
I was certain there were 2 turny hoos.
No.
Flippy doo-doos. No.
Just one, because they'd have to redo the entire track, and they didn't do that.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to lead us in a different direction. Well, maybe it's kind of the same direction, because I mean, we're nitpicking here and having a little bit of fun, but you also started off like your Disney journey with a little bit of trauma.
Yeah, a little bit.
Like, how do you reconcile to yourself today, loving, the Disney and the parks, but it's something that like, you have this conflict of like, there's a clear dichotomy between, kid David and adult David and your relationship to Disney. Like, how do you hold that in your brain?
That's an interesting question because despite the experience at Disneyland, I have been the first person in line at every single Disney movie on the planet because because growing up in rural Oregon, I grew up in a double wide mobile home that I was terrified everybody was going to find out that I lived in a double wide mobile home because my mom was this unbelievable human being who never let me understand just how poor we were.
Yeah.
I never knew because I was in middle school, I was voted best dressed because I wore ties to school because my mom would save up all this money and then she would take me to this bougie ass store in whatever the mall was in Eugene,
right?
And which was a drive for us. So going to Eugene was like fancy people land because the main source of industry in the town that I grew up in was a chicken plant, which the whole town stank like chickens. And like the thing that you would grow up to be is a chicken plucker. Yeah. And I didn't want to be a chicken plucker.
I mean, this is clearly the origin story of a Broadway star.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, it is. And the funny is, so like we grew up in this mobile home and I was obsessed with musicals because I watched the Macy's Day Parade when I was 6 and I saw this thing happening and I think it was Falsettos, which is like a real rando show because it's definitely about AIDS. Right. And like, what, 6 years old? Yeah, I got to do that. And I remember, I will never forget watching that. And so my mom used to take me to Movies to Go, this little rental store in Cresswell where we'd have to drive into town, which was not really a town, to rent a Betamax machine. Yes.
Heck yeah.
I would drive that home in a dump truck because it was that heavy. And I would rent Man of La Mancha, Annie, and Oliver, and on repeat, and just watch them over and over again. So I knew I wanted to do it. And so I wrote my first musical when I was 12, and it was called Children of the Shadows, and it was a very bold 3 acts that came in at not under 3.5 hours.
Wow.
It was very long, about homeless kids living under a bridge in Atlantic City, and then child slavery. So that's the 12-year-old David that I was.
Wow, there's a lot to unpack there.
It's so much to unpack.
Lollipops and rainbows.
All lollipops and rainbows and child slavery. Yes. Wow. And then I wrote a vampire musical, and my mom was just like, "What do you want to do next?" I'm like, "I want to write musicals." And so for my 16th birthday, have no idea how she did it. I needed a piano because I was writing on this tiny little stunky keyboard. Yeah. And she got me a very used car and a keyboard, and I literally never drove the car. I was such a nerd that I remember for hours being hunched over that piano and never once drove the car because like, why do I need that? Why do I need to leave the piano for any reason whatsoever? So most of my 20s were spent hunched over a piano writing musicals. So Disney was the only thing that was adjunct to Broadway that I could get. So I remember getting the Little Mermaid tape and watching Part of Your World.
Yeah.
And then what's so beautiful about life, one of the many beautiful things, is that I obsessed over the structure of Little Mermaid from the time I was like very young.
Yeah.
Because it's perfect. It's perfect. Like
Yeah.
when you literally look at it, like you have the introduction to the world with the fathoms below, and then you go underneath and you see the problem, which is the sisters are conformists,
Yeah.
and dad is a titan and triton,
Right.
and there's one girl who's a rebel, and then she gets in trouble, and then she sings the third song is I Want This, and she literally says
I
I
Want
want to
song.
be.
Yes,
And
it's the
I
I Want song.
obsessed. And then I grew up and I got into this program in New York called the BMI Lehman Engel Musical Theater Writers Workshop. And all of these people from all over the world apply each year, and they only take 20 people. And my year, they only took 18. And I got in, and so let me back up. I had applied. I was living in Seattle at the time because we'd moved, and I applied. And I had no idea of whether or not I was going to get in because I moved on September 7th. My audition was on September 9th. And I was like, let it ride. So I sold everything I owned and moved to New York. And I was terrified because I grew up on a farm, a tiny little farm in Oregon. And I was like, I'd been to New York one time and a guy pulled a gun on the subway. Like, that's my memory of that. It was crazy. And it was
Got it. So the 80s. Okay.
No, don't. I am not that old.
I
you
am.
bitch.
I am.
It was a great experience, but like I was terrified, and I only knew a couple people, and of course I was like, I'm not going to call those people because I don't want to bother them because I'm that guy.
Yeah.
So I got there, and it changed my whole life. And I luckily got into the program, and then I got to work with the people who wrote Little Mermaid, and like the Bobby and Kristen who wrote Frozen were like members of the class that came right before me, and like and then Jeff Whitty, who wrote the book to Avenue Q, he was in a class above me, and like just all these beautiful connections. And that's another story for another time. But just what BMI did to change my life, and they taught me that what I was watching is Little Mermaid is actually the structure of the foundational structure of all musicals, and Disney just understands that. They sort of develop that, and so my changing relationship. Back to the point, dear listeners, was that my relationship had to change because I loved it, and I needed to incorporate that kid who never got to be one. Because I have been an adult since I was like 8.
Yeah.
Because I just had to be. There was some stuff that is really intense that happened, and I had to move through the adult world. And I think the thing about Nick is that I finally met another person who had his childhood taken, and we got to take it back.
Yeah.
And holding his hand and walking through Disneyland is the most profound experience. Feeling safe to do that is something quite remarkable and integrating.
Yeah.
So it will always be that to me. And I've thought about leaving my life behind and literally living in Disneyland at this point because I want that. I want my time back.
Yeah.
And every time I go there, I get it. I get it back every time.
Okay, everybody take a break. Go get a tissue. We'll be okay. All right.
There is something special about Disney, just about how it makes you feel.
Yeah.
And they know that too. Like they build it like that, but it's not just a corporate thing to it too. They want people to feel this way, to feel happy, to know they're safe there.
Yeah.
One of the reasons we go back and we'll go back and we won't even do rides because it's the vibe of it all. It's the feeling.
For us, just driving onto property in Orlando, because it's huge. It's I forget how many, like 100 square miles, or no, it's more than that. It's like thousands of acres. It's ginormous.
Disney World in Florida covers about 27,500 acres or 43 square miles. It is about the size of San Francisco or twice the size of Manhattan.
And there's these signs on the main roads, these big arches. I think there's 3 of them on the main entrances. And it's like, welcome to Disney World. And we drive under those signs. Every single time, our bodies have a visceral reaction. It is just like our blood pressure drops 20 points.
Yeah.
like if there was stress on the drive over from I-4 because it's a parking lot.
Yeah.
If there's like you had a rough flight, if whatever it is, you get into that bubble, and it's more there than it is in Anaheim because
it's a bubble.
It literally is a
Yeah.
bubble in Florida, which is the whole reason Walt bought all that property to make the bubble, to be isolated from everything else. It's such a magical place, and it is a magical feeling.
Yeah.
It's a stress reliever going there. It's one of the reasons we like to go there so much.
Yeah.
And the cruises honestly are like that too for us.
100%.
Yeah.
We'll go in. We just did one, and on the Destiny, is a brand new ship. We had all of these things we wanted to do, all these new things that are unique to that ship. We chose a 7-night itinerary. It's usually been doing 4s and 5s. We did one of its first 7-night itineraries. Like, we will have more time. We'll be able to do all of the things. Nope. Our brains shut off.
Yeah.
And instead of rope dropping and doing this and standing in line for an hour and a half to do whatever event, it was just like, whatever's going to happen is going to happen. And we had the best cruise. We still did a bunch of stuff, but it was,
And you're explaining exactly what's been happening for us lately, because it's like, how many times are we actually going to go back? And the answer is all. We're going to go back all.
Yeah.
And what we started doing lately is that, so what's beautiful about the dynamic between Nick and I is that we both have significant ADHD, like almost debilitating to that degree. So executive functioning happens either within one of us, and the other one is like in a hole, in a ditch by the side of the road. And then the other one is executive functioning to a degree that is like superhuman.
Right.
And so it just so happened that the first time we went to Disneyland, it was my birthday. So he was a control freak in the best way. And I'd never seen that side of him. So he was like, we're going to do this. And he was like, you don't look at anything. Don't map anything out on your phone. And so we would get off a ride, and he'd be like, look, here, our next ride is ready for you. So we'd be walking across the park this way. And it was just unbelievable. But at the end of the day, we realized that after 3 or 4 parks, we were always looking for the next thing. We were always like, what's our next event? We got to make sure we do that thing.
Yeah.
And what happened the last time when we were in Hong Kong is that it was for Nick's birthday. I went there for Nick's birthday.
Yeah.
And so it was my chance to do that for him.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's laziness that made me not want to, or it was the fact that no part of me needed to be like really rigid about what we did. So we sort of just wandered and let it take us. And then at the end of the day, there were like 3 or 4 things that I hadn't gotten to do yet, because he had been back with his niece, Charlotte, who's itty bitty.
Yeah.
And that was he called me after. He was like, it's such a different experience with a little kid.
Yes.
Because you do a quarter of the things, and it's a lot of holding of hands, and it's a lot of this didn't go the way that we wanted to, so there's a meltdown. It's all that stuff. But he was like, it's so beautiful because you see it through their eyes again.
Yes.
And he said it was profound. And this is not a person who easily is swayed by the things that typical neurotypical people are. He doesn't go like super emotional on autopilot like I just did 5 minutes ago. Sorry. But he just doesn't do that. So for him to go there, it was really profound. So when we went there last time, I had this checklist where I was like, I really want to do this one thing. But he wanted to do, it was the last day of a passport thing where you go to the land, you get your passport stamp, and then at the end of the day you get a token. And he was like, it's the last day, yay. But we hadn't done any of it, and he hadn't filled out the book. So so I was like, give me the book. And I'm like filling stuff out, and we are running. And he's like, what about your rides? I don't care about the ride.
Get
Shut
the
up
passport
and move.
done. Yeah.
And we got it done. We got it done.
Yeah.
Even there were a couple places that had already closed, and so we were like begging people, can we please get a stamp? And we got the thing. And at the end of the day, we got the final token. We went to the gift shop on the way out, way out of time, and they were like, they're closing the gate, and they hand him his token. So he still has that, and that is a prized possession. That is going nowhere. But
So
it's beautiful.
This is perfect because kind of almost in closing, at least for this, talking about Hong Kong Disneyland, if you had to sum it up, does Hong Kong Disneyland feel more authentic or less authentic, or just different than the other parks that you've been to?
It feels similar in my soul and in my child heart.
Yeah.
And I think it's very worth doing. And I don't need to go back to that one again because it's small.
Yeah.
And part of the magic for me is that I want this to be a multi-day experience. And I don't know that needs it to be. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know that I would have been going back a second time. I'm glad. And I knew that I wanted to because I hadn't seen a bunch of stuff. But now that I've seen it, I'm like, I think I'm good. But I also love Hong Kong. And I'm like, if I can move there, I'm going to go. Unless if I live there, I'm going every week. Right. Like, I won't be bored of it then. No part of it was boring. It was intimate.
Yeah.
And yeah. I hear they're expanding it though. Is that true?
That is, I was just trying to think of the details, and I can't place the exact details of what has been announced. But basically, the scuttlebutt that I've heard is they're going to build another park.
They haven't announced that. There's other lands that they're building.
Okay, maybe that's what's in my brain.
Yeah, they're going to do like Pixar stuff. They're going to do Marvel expansions and a revamp of Tomorrowland and Space Mountain.
Maybe it's like almost doubling the footprint or something like that with expansion.
That would be good.
There's something in my brain is like they're going to do something major is on the plans for Hong Kong. So
what was so fascinating, so I remember when we first went to Epcot. They're still calling it Epcot, right? Okay, great. Sorry. I'm so old. I'm like, maybe they changed it. I don't know. What was so interesting about that is that what an incredible experience, obviously, but like you go to the separate lands in the different countries. Like you go into China and it's that big movie theater and they show this incredible video. Yeah. And then you make your way through, and then Africa, which is a very, very large place with lots of countries in it. It was tiny.
Yeah,
and
it's just like a kiosk.
It's like you pass through. Yeah. And what was so profound about it is there's this man there who's literally carving these walking sticks by hand, and they cost $30. A hot dog costs $30. So why is the thing that is being carved by a person, a human being in front of you, only $30? I want to pay $170 for that. I want that.
Yeah.
But I couldn't. They wouldn't even let me. And then you go to Hong Kong Disneyland, and in the middle of China, they have Lion King, and it's just this big experience. You know what I mean? So I want to know what the head is behind. Like, in Abu Dhabi, are they going to have Aladdin? Like, why is there a more representation of Mulan in Shanghai?
Yeah.
Where is the Hunchback of Notre Dame? Like, I understand that some of these things have to get axed because, frankly, they're so dark.
Right.
Like seeing Hunchback the first time in the movie theater, I was yes, entirely my jam. Yes, would have given me nightmares as a child. Like if Maleficent, first time I saw her, girl, I was under the seat. I slept by my mom's bed for a week. Oh my God. But let me tell you, I slept by my mom's bed after seeing E.T. and The Moment in the Shed for 2 weeks. My mother had to talk me into going back to understand that moment was not terrifying. So Maleficent, I was screwed. You know what I mean? Like this big dragon lady.
Yes.
Come on. But like Hunchback, like I understand, like it's not very jovial. You know what I mean? Like, where do we go on the jovial ride through like hellfire? You know?
Right.
What? Yes. Anyway.
Well, David, it's been amazing having you on.
Yes.
I have some unfortunate news for you though. It's now time for Alicia's patented Disney torture test.
Yes. Oh God.
And you're a professional though. You've been to lots of different parks. You have the emotional fortitude to work through this.
Oh my God.
I believe in you.
Thank you.
But damn, dude, good luck.
Okay.
God.
A, it's not patented, and 2, it's not torture. This is just your Disney favorites from everything under Mickey's umbrella. Yeah. So that includes like Disney, Pixar, Star Wars, Marvel. Yeah. Anything. You can choose from anything there. Your favorite character?
I don't know. I don't care if it's a cliche. I love Stitch.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mainly because it just joy and weirdness and neurodivergence but love underpinning everything.
Yeah.
And also like I can do the voice.
Oh, honey, family. The breathing. So cute.
Sorry, I'll stop now. Yes.
Yeah, we don't want to get a takedown notice from Disney.
Exactly, right. Yes, copyright infringement or maybe a contract. Who knows?
Oh, there
maybe
you
I'm
go.
that good.
Maybe.
Who knows? Yeah, I do love some Stitch. And I'll be another cliche. Like Peter Pan makes a lot of sense to me.
Yeah.
He just does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Favorite movie?
Oh, I mean, I'm gonna say Mermaid is up there, but like with time and having musically directed it so many times, like I don't necessarily need to see it again. So repeated viewing, I think Hunchback is stunning. I think it's so stunning.
It is.
Oh wow, that's tricky. Mary Poppins.
Okay.
Yeah, Mary Poppins.
Favorite ride?
Oh, I love an Incredicoaster, although they slowed it down. Still mad about it. I'm gonna say Tokyo Peter Pan.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah.
Disney World or Disneyland?
Oh God, this is torture. It is actually torture. So
Told you.
not to get dark again, but like Disneyland, I never felt a twinge of not being. And to be clear, let me preface this by saying I never felt unsafe.
Yeah.
But definitely in Disney World, when Nick and I were walking through it, sometimes I felt the eyeballs on us.
Yeah.
And those eyeballs did not have kindness necessarily behind them.
Yep.
Never once felt that in Disneyland.
Yeah.
And I will say in all of the parks, we've always been, we're pretty easy to clock as as a little bit different. But we've been beautifully clocked by the people who understand and see us as part of their community. So like there was a trans performer, a cast member who was dressed as Cinderella, who came up to us because they understood, and they always made touchdowns. So like, I'm not even joking. Nick and I always talk at the end of the day about every single time, every day we go, we have these weird, odd, magical experiences. Like with Jen, who was profound, and she's still in our life. I text with her all the time, and the trans performers, and like, and we just feel so welcomed. And so that did not. It's not that we felt unwelcome in Disney World, but in Disney World, what I love, another difference between Nick and I, there's an age difference between us, and my generation knows what it is to be othered in a very scary way, and Nick's it has had those experiences, but in a very different way.
Right.
The bullying is all electronic at this point. And so he wasn't clocking it, and I was. So that sort of altered the experience too. But it wasn't pervasive.
Yeah.
It was just a few people, and it was okay. But because of that, I will say Disneyland.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's not Disney. It is
people.
It is the guests.
It is
your
the
fellow
guests.
guests who are there.
And it was like 3 or 4 of them. So that's it. That's it.
No, I remember distinctly. I think I've told this story on the podcast before. If not, I don't care. I went to Disney World for a tech convention 20 years ago, and I was staying off property, and I got to the airport and got a ride to the hotel where I was staying next to downtown Disney at the time. I think it was the Hilton over there. Anyhow, Sheraton, something. And I walk into the lobby, and there is this gentleman from somewhere in the South just berating the hotel manager, top of his lungs. I can't believe you would expose my family to this. I'm like, what the heck is he? And there's these 2 guys, like 6'7", 6'8",
Very tall.
ginormous, just ripped black guys in like Speedos and on roller skates.
Yes.
Just it was like the closing weekend, or the closing like of the weekend of like gay days.
Yeah, okay,
in
yep,
Disney
yep,
World.
yep.
And so you can just imagine.
Yeah.
And I was just like, that is the most fantastic purple, like sparkly Speedo I've ever seen. And good on you.
Yeah,
And this guy can go pound sand.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. My friend Amy was just at the Pride event this year with her baby.
Yeah.
And she's not a member of the community, but she's like, she gets a free pass, because we're all her friend. And she said it was just, we want to go. We want to go because it also feels like neurodivergent Pride.
Disney Pride is amazing.
Yeah.
Caitlin and I got to do that in Paris. Oh, we got to attend the Pride Night in Paris, and it was so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure. I mean, if you wanted to talk about me bawling my face off, that's the way to do it. Like all the colors, how they change. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, we've got a little tangent here. Out of all of the individual parks that you've been to, which one's your favorite?
Tokyo.
Tokyo.
Tokyo Disneyland?
Tokyo. Here's a toss-up. Tokyo and Disney World.
Okay.
Which is weird
Like
because
Magic
it's
Kingdom?
Magic.
Or- okay.
All? Okay. Like all? Maybe?
No.
Only, and not the same
Which
one.
individual?
Which
Individual.
Which
Damn it.
Park.
You're so mean to
I
me.
am.
Yeah, Magic Kingdom.
Magic Kingdom.
Yeah. Okay. I think it's just the love of how much there is to do in Florida. It's never ending.
Yeah.
Like I will wait in those lines. And the Ratatouille thing, we got on and we tried to get in line 3 separate times. And every time we would get there, it would break down right as we got there. And so they kept giving us the free get on passes. And then the final time they gave it to us, they didn't know that they had done this, but it was like get on all rides without having to wait thing. And we're like, yes, totally worth it. It's just there's so much to do, and we went to a Disney World water park too in Florida, right? We did that.
There's 2 of them.
So good.
With the shipwreck or with the snow?
Just snow? Question mark.
Okay.
We've been to a few water parks. Dead drop, like almost straight down. And oh my God, 2 grown-ass men like standing at the top, and we had to climb all these stairs, and we get there. We're like, I don't know if I can do it. And there's a 6-year-old girl who literally went, oh, just get out of my way. Shot down that thing. And still she went down. We're like, nope, still terrified. Absolutely. Who's going first? Yeah. Ridiculous. We
Okay,
survived.
last one.
Yes, I'm ready.
Your favorite Disney snack?
Oh. Corn. It's the corn. It is the corn.
Like popcorn or
No,
No,
the actual
it's on
corn
the
on the
cob.
cob. Oh. Yeah, so good. I do love the popcorn. And in Tokyo, you buy the bucket and you go around and it's free.
Oh.
Like you get refills of
that's cool.
any flavor that you want, which is great. So I did like that. But we're very big on the corn. Like a lot.
Awesome.
But there was one park that didn't have it. And they need to get on top of that stuff because we're coming back.
David, you survived. I'm proud of you.
Thank you so much. PTSD, just a little bit.
Thank you so much for coming over and chatting. This
My
was
pleasure.
fabulous.
You're a
I love you
delight.
guys.
It is so good to talk to you about Disney.
Good seeing you too.
Yeah. Well, as we wrap up off that magical conversation, a reminder that we are not affiliated with Disney or any of its subsidiaries. Everything you hear on this show is based on personal experiences, opinions, and questionable snack choices. We are, however, proudly affiliated with Fun.
In the short Tron ride.
In the short Tron ride.
If you're planning a Disney vacation, we recommend working with a travel advisor or reaching out to Disney directly to help make the magic happen. And if you enjoyed today's episode, please take a second to rate and review the show. It really helps other Disney fans find us.
If you have a question, a topic suggestion, or a Disney story you'd love to share, please send us an email to podcast@ourmousecapades.com.
You can also find us on Instagram, Facebook, and Threads. We are at Our Mousecapades, and on YouTube at Our Mousecapades Pod. Don't forget to share us with your friends, your family, and Disney fans of all ages.
Thanks for listening. We'll be back in your ears next week.
Thank you for flying Star Tours. Bye-bye.